This is our Kia Carens long-termer. It's a 1.7 CRDI in 2 trim, which means that it's economical, it's got good kit and it's really good value. This 2 trim car comes with everything you see here. So you get the Bluetooth, you get iPod connection, you get cruise control, all the steering wheel buttons. So it's really good actually. And the interior, although there are some pretty cheap plastics around, doesn't really feel that bad by the standards of a fairly budget MPV. Another thing that a lot of families will value about the Carens is that you can get 3 child seats across the middle row, which is really useful. Obviously, we will be telling you all the things we love and hate about it as time rolls on, but right now I want to find out how good it is if it's filled to the max with people. So clearly this isn't a real world test of the Carens because not many buyers are going to want to get 7 adults in it. However, it is a really good test of the practicality and how much space there is. So, what do we think of it, people?
I think it's kind of okay. The seat, well, the room for my feet under the front seat's kind of okay, but we've kind of, to give the guys in the back row enough room, we've slid the seat forward a little bit, and I wouldn't want to spend that much time, but it's not too bad. The main thing for me is just the seatbelt cuts right across my neck, and we've only sort of been going about 5 minutes, so I don't know how good that will be long distance, but otherwise for the size of the car I don't think it's too bad.
You have enough legroom here, even with the seat moved forward to give those behind more space.
But you've only got small legs.
I do only have small legs, that's true. The problem is the fact that they've got this bin here in the middle, which, so even though the floor is flat, I can't actually get my feet behind it. I still have to straddle as if there was a tunnel because of this bin was here. If it wasn't, I could actually put my feet through and I'd be much more comfortable. But the seat itself is actually quite wide, so I don't feel like I'm too close to the people either side of me, which is a good thing. But otherwise, so I'm reasonably comfortable, but it would be better without this.
I'm suffering from the same problem that Will's got with the seatbelt cutting across my neck. I'm finding I'm rubbing shoulders with Steve here a little bit too much, so sort of having to push myself into the door. But I've got enough legroom. I have moved forward for John behind me. I've only got short little legs, just like Steve, but I'm fine with Vicky, thankfully. She's only got short little legs too. If any of the others were driving, I think we'd be a little bit more squished on this side.
Up front is quite spacious. You can obviously put the seat back as much as you want, but the dash does cut into your knee room a bit. The actual top of the dash is pretty high, which I don't like. It makes you feel quite enclosed. So even right at the front, it's still feeling quite limited. Yeah, other than that, it's pretty spacious. Probably the best part of the cabin to be in. Yeah, it's good.
I find it a little bit tight in the back. The main problem is my head hits the roof rather than the headrest. So if actually the headrest is no use to me whatsoever because I wouldn't actually hit it if we had an accident. And there is enough legroom, but you can only sit in one position. You can't really move around.
I have the same problem with the headroom. There's not much of it. My head's touching the ceiling. I've got just about enough knee space, which is good, but there is a slight problem of the centre seatbelt cutting right across my field of vision.
Well, I had enough space when we were just sitting here. When we started eating and started moving elbows around, I did find I was getting elbowed from both sides and I could do with a bit more space. Plus, being in the middle, I don't have a table and I don't have a cup holder, so I had to improvise.
The table's a lot stronger than I expected it to be. It looks flimsy, but it doesn't give as quickly as I thought it would. The only problem is, of course, it won't go down unless I move my knees out of the way, which is really awkward.
It'd be okay if there's only 2 of you in the rear seats or the middle row seats rather than 3, but it's quite high, which probably if you're a child on a child booster seat you'd probably be okay, but it does feel a bit kind of awkward to use. But otherwise okay. I don't know about the cup holder, whether it will last around a few corners because it just sits on top rather than sitting in something.
I have a cup holder, which is okay, except it's a bit behind me. We don't have tables in the back, but do have hands, so I can hold my burger. The only problem is Sarah's a very messy eater and it went everywhere. Apart from that, fine.
To drive with this many people on board, the Carens is actually alright. It's all very stable anyway. The steering's bad regardless of how many people you're carrying. But it's a very comfortable, easy car to drive, and I think that's pretty much all that anybody's going to want. So that's the new Kia Carens. It's all very promising initially. All it has to do now is stand up to the daily grind of being a what car long-termer.